Just like the land that bear the name Africa, love is on my mind. It's for everyone, no matter where they're from. Love across all lines. Like the feeling of how the season changing. Love is a memory. In these last days when unity blazing, truth's love speak. I need true love. How do you know? Well, I what you mean to me. Where does it show as I live and I breathe? In the valley of the shadow, I know that you'll be higher defense. I conquer death and I conquer enemy. What is love really if it only affects one aspect of life? That's like a musician who only accepts his own musical time. That's like a preacher who only respects Sunday morning and not Saturday night. That's how this soldier can come to reflect that love is more than a man and a wife. I mean, I need true love. Where do you know what you doing to me? And does it show as I live and I breathe? In the valley of the shadow, I know who you be. Higher defense, higher conquer death and I conquer envy. In a time of plenty, it's gonna keep me strong. Things get tough and I keep cooling. It's gonna keep me strong. When I cup is empty, it's gonna keep I strong. When I cup is full, hey, it's keep I from your temptation. Come on, true love, where do you know what you mean?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the American University of the Caribbean's 2023 Commencement Ceremony. Please welcome our distinguished faculty and 2023 graduates.
may now be seated. It is my great honor to welcome you to the commencement ceremony for the class of 2023 for the American University of the Caribbean School of Medicine. I am Dr. Natalie Humphrey, Assistant Dean of Community Engagement, and on behalf of AUC faculty, colleagues, and Board of Trustees, I would like to extend a warm welcome to family, friends, and honored guests who have supported our graduates. We are delighted to join you today to acknowledge the tremendous accomplishments of your loved ones. To class of 2023, this commencement ceremony is an acknowledgement that you have completed the requirements of one of the most challenging and rigorous academic programs one can pursue. However, this commencement ceremony is much more than an acknowledgement. This ceremony is extraordinary, not just because we're celebrating your tremendous accomplishments as an exceptional class of graduates, but because you have overcome incredible challenges to pursue a career in medicine. In March of 2021, many of you learned that there was a global health crisis. That would require some of you to leave the island of St. Martin immediately, with in-person classes and events and experiences for that medical school year cut short. Many of you were sent home from your clinical rotations after you learned that all medical schools would be suspending rotations. You left campus. You left your rotations uncertain about how you would continue your journey in medicine. Less than a week later, the world had moved online. And for many of you, your new classroom and your new rotation was in your childhood bedroom, or in your sister's living room watching your nieces and nephews, or a very lonely apartment. When the restrictions were lifted and you returned to your clinical rotations, healthcare had changed, and your sense of responsibility had increased. More than ever, your communities needed you and your contribution to medicine. But you were more determined than ever. You answered the call. Mothers, fathers, aunties and uncles, are you here? Cousins, nieces, despite these challenges, they are here. AUC faculty and colleagues, they are here. Class of 2023, you are here. Despite the odds and the obstacles and a pandemic, you armed yourself with the knowledge to prevent and treat illness. Despite these challenges, you maintained your commitment to serving the most vulnerable in our society. Despite these challenges, you have proven your capacity to meet the new demands of the world of healthcare. You have embodied self-awareness, flexibility, perseverance, and focus. You will leave this building today with a new pronoun, a pronoun that describes you as part of an elite group of medical professionals that will impact lives wherever you go. A pronoun that will always identify you as a professional committed to serving others. Your new pronoun is doctor. AUC graduates, I am pleased to welcome you and declare the commencement ceremony open for conferring the degree of Doctor of Medicine. Let the ceremony begin. I would now like to introduce and welcome Dr. Pedro Delgado, Dean of AUC. Dr. Delgado joined AUC in 2019 as Senior Associate Dean of the St. Martin campus. And with Dr. Delgado's prolific leadership, the medical science program continued successfully through the COVID-19 pandemic. He also led an equally successful transition to an integrated systems-based curriculum and has supported the ongoing development of the second medical science campus in the UK. He became Dean of AUC in March of 2022 and has continued to advance the strategic vision of academic quality to prepare students to serve our most vulnerable. Under Dr. Delgado's leadership, we received the highest success rates of any graduating class of matching to various subspecialties. We have also received the longest accreditation and approval cycles possible. Welcome, Dr. Pedro Delgado.
Thank you, Dr. Humphrey, and let me add to the welcome that Dr. Humphrey provided. It is truly a pleasure to be here today. As AUC's Dean, I'm filled with immense joy and pride to share this time with you. This is a milestone for you that you'll remember for the rest of your life. We were talking before we came out here about our memories, each of us, when we graduated from medical school and what that's like. You'll remember this. Today, we're honored to have special members of on the stage party with us. Alongside AUC's deans and faculty leaders, we're joined by the distinguished members of our Board of Trustees and the Alumni Board. On a personal note, I want to say that this year's ceremony holds special significance for me. Our paths first converged when most of you were in the medical sciences on campus in St. Martin. And like you, I started my journey at AUC with much anticipation and excitement about what lay ahead. And as you know, it's been quite the experience. You have successfully navigated, as Dr. Humphrey alluded to, medical school during a historic time, during a historic pandemic, overcoming the challenges of remote learning, adapting to the unprecedented changes in teaching hospitals. Prior to joining AUC, some of you doubted your potential. Some people told you that maybe you weren't up to it, that maybe you weren't suitable for this noble profession. Some people made you feel like you didn't belong, but you've defied the skeptics. And together, we've proven them wrong. You now have a seat at the table. And soon, you'll be the one that will actually be setting the table. It'll be your table because you belong. Amidst what will likely be remembered as one of the most demanding periods of medical education, you have not only endured, but you've excelled. Congratulations. Today, we gather in person to commemorate your incredible achievements. This is about you and your accomplishments. As you cross the stage, we're really honored to congratulate you, each one of you, on embarking on the next phase of your journey as extraordinary physicians. You've demonstrated unwavering determination, resilience, and sacrifice to reach this milestone, a dream that you were committed to achieving since day one of coming to AUC and well before. Take pride in your accomplishments and trust that you are well prepared for what lies ahead. Your experiences have molded you into compassionate physicians who will create meaningful connections with your patients. The unwavering dedication of AUC's professors, administrators, and staff has equipped you with a solid foundation, enriched by international learning experiences, a diverse academic community, and an emphasis on social accountability and engagement. I have no doubt, like alumni before you, that each of you has a bright and fulfilling career ahead. You're now part of a global network of more than 7,500 alumni who are actively shaping the physician workforce, one that's ready to serve the diverse needs of our communities and contribute to a more equitable healthcare system. Our alumni have gone on to accomplish much in their careers. Some have become chief residents, department chairs, program directors, researchers, and entrepreneurs. Case in point, our keynote speaker tonight is AUC class of 2007 alum, Dr. Monica Artie Makija, who's a neurologist at Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center, Harvard Medical School. And she runs a specialty program for epilepsy patients with undiagnosed sleep disorders and is doing research in that area. Thank you, Dr. Makija, and our alumni here today for joining us to recognize you, our graduates, as they prove their own way to making a difference in healthcare as you have. Finally, I'll state the obvious, and that is that this is not the end of your journey as exceptional physicians, rather it's just the beginning. Whether you return to your hometowns to serve your communities or explore the world, a myriad of possibilities and opportunities await you. Remember that you will forever be cherished as members of the AUC family, and we eagerly anticipate news of your future accomplishments. Supporting your path from passion to practice has been a true privilege. Congratulations, graduates.
Thank you, Dr. Delgado. I am honored to now introduce our keynote speaker and 2007 AUC graduate, Dr. Monica Artie Makija. Dr. Makija is a neurologist, as Dr. Delgado mentioned, at Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center at Harvard Medical School. After graduating from AUC in 2007, Dr. Makija completed her residency training at the University of Massachusetts in Worcester. She also completed a sleep fellowship at the Department of Neurology at St. Vincent's Hospital in Massachusetts, with pediatric sleep training at Boston Children's Hospital. She then completed a second fellowship in clinical neurophysiology with an epilepsy focus at Beth Israel Deaconess, where she stayed on and joined the faculty of Harvard Medical School. She's a board certified in both epilepsy and sleep medicine, and she is currently initiating drug trials in sleep medicine with a focus on neurology-based disorders. She's actively engaged in clinical care and teaching neurology residents at the Harvard residency program. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Makija.
Thank you, Dr. Humphrey. Thank you for your kind welcome and the opportunity to speak today. It's an absolute honor to be here on such a momentous day. First, congratulations to the class of 2023. What can I truly say to a room full of new medical graduates that will be words of inspiration when I feel like I graduated just yesterday? Honestly, I still feel like I'm in your shoes and I'm 20-something years old, I'll bet with a few more gray hairs and wrinkles. But I graduated from AUC about 15 years ago. The intervening years took me to Boston, where I currently practice as a neurologist with a faculty appointment. I have dual subspecialty in sleep medicine and epilepsy. I hope I can stand in front of you and share some wisdom from my experiences. Today, you are getting a new title, which you will carry as a part of you for the rest of your life. While that might sound dramatic, whether you are a public or private person, those two letters are now a key part of your identity. You may be called upon for advice and knowledge when you least expect it by people in their most vulnerable moments. There may be a friend who is injured in need, a colleague looking for your expertise, a family member looking for advice, or even your child looking up to you when sick. Whether you decide to do clinical medicine, research, or industry, this obligation will not change. From today onwards, you are joining the most noble professions. How did I come to join this noble profession? Well, I was born into an immigrant family from India, so what else would I possibly do than either become a doctor or an engineer? Seriously, though, I was destined for a career in science. My mother, a practicing physician herself in our small town in Ontario. My father, an environmental consultant who received his PhD and postdoctorate degrees in Canada. Gifted in the sciences, at times my parents made it look so easy. However, this was not the case at all. I heard the stories of my family's struggles to get where they were in Canada. They immigrated in the early 70s and faced obstacles quite different than ours today. My mother faced tremendous hardship to obtain a residency in Canada due to sexism, racism, and the stigma related to being a foreign medical graduate. That was the early 70s, and being a woman of color was much different than it is today. She was lucky to get a residency of her choice in the field she loved the most, neurology. Unfortunately, she had to leave her program after giving birth to her second child. Yeah, that was me. In the 70s, there was no such thing as maternity leave, as in not even one day off. She was fortunate enough to transition to a new residency program, though not neurology. Up until the 90s, she made a career for herself as an ER physician with an academic affiliation in our small town. Although she made many sacrifices, she loved her work. And this was very clear to everyone who knew her. I remember seeing her study late at night, and I could never understand the depth of her passion. To this day, I hear stories from random strangers when I go home who were touched by care as patients, retired staff, and beloved colleagues. Unfortunately, we lost her in my early 20s, and I remember her telling me her final days that if given a chance, she would still pursue a career and become a doctor in another lifetime. I've kept my mother's parting words with me, and I come back to them often. I'd like you to also consider this. The coming years will be the prime of your life. Someday, when you look back on that time, I hope, too, you can also say that you would also do it all over again. I encourage you to check in with yourself from time to time and make sure it's truly how you feel. It will make you a better doctor long term. And if one day practicing medicine doesn't fill your cup anymore, don't be afraid to explore the options or callings. With the knowledge you've gained here at AUC, the opportunities are absolutely endless. For me, after caring for my mother while she was terminally ill and witnessing her sincere passion for medicine, I felt inspired to apply to medical school myself. Within a few months, I embarked on my career path and joined AUC in the summer of 2004. I have the greatest memories from my time on the island at AUC, including dinners at Grand Casse, watching planes over Sunset Beach Bar. However, there were some incredibly tough times. As if med school wasn't hard enough, the full weight of my mother's passing settled in on me at the time. And my reward for making it through these challenging years? Rotations in New York City. The long days and nights of IVs, blood draws, ABGs, assisting trauma cases with gunshot wounds, and the rotating through the inpatient ward a Far Rockaway. Those are times I will never forget. I could really keep going with all my hardships. I love a good pity party just as much as the next person. But they told me this is the most joyous day for you, so let's get to the point. While it's easy to wallow during difficult times, it's important to recognize the problems you face as opportunities for growth. Whether you learn a new skill or something important about yourself, remind yourself to find the silver lining about each of these challenges. It's not easy to do when you're in the thick of things, but reflecting back, I think it's the best way to cope with adversity that inevitably lies ahead. Okay, just one more challenge story, guys. Humor me. Through the wonders of this thing called the match, I ended up matching into family medicine instead of neurology. I was very upset at the time because I really wanted to be a neurologist. Despite my heart was in neurosciences, I eventually decided to embrace my role as a family medicine physician, and I strived to do my best. I loved my intern year. If it weren't for that decision, I would not be a neurologist today. Let me explain. You'll find that medicine is a small world. You never know whom trained with whom, whose kids go to school together, etc. I had no specific motives at the time, but my mentors in family medicine came to learn that it was my dream to be a neurologist. They advocated for me, and by putting in a good word with their neurology colleagues, I was able to transition to the neurology residency of my choice. I'm not saying you should do good things because people are watching, but making good impression really never hurts. You never know which twists and turns your life will take, but whatever you are doing, try your best to do it well, with good intention and a full heart. It may just open some doors for you. I completed my neurology resident as chief. Residency was my test of resilience and perseverance. Having a support group was vital to me in attaining my goals. I went on to do my fellowships in epilepsy and sleep medicine. If you want to keep your training forever, come join us in Boston. I did eventually take my first job. Now, as a young, I'd like to think young, but I know there's a few gray hairs and wrinkles. Practicing academic neurologist, there are always new challenges in medicine and decisions that need to be made. I started my academic career as a bright-eyed, excited physician, ready to learn and develop my subspecialty in Boston. I felt so proud of my accomplishments at the time, my dual subspecialty, and somehow getting a job in an institution I had dreamt of. However, as I started my employment, I found out I was pregnant with my first child. This was also another aspect of my life I had dreamt about for years, but thus far had struggled to achieve. I remembered the stories from my mother, and now I found myself in a position of wondering whether I could be a good mother and a successful academic physician. Fortunately, we've come a long way in supporting parents, and my experience in medicine as a woman of color was and is still different than my parents' generation. I got the support that I needed, and I had the time to bond with my first child. I guess I felt supported enough that I went on to have 2 more children. Having young kids and still being productive at work is hard, but it is possible with some help and really good mentorship. Now for all of you graduating today, the possibilities are truly endless. You have the chance to build a brighter path for yourself and for future generations to come. From this, I hope you take each opportunity to learn, build resilience, and stay true to your life goals. Whatever you decide, you can achieve it as long as you keep rooting for yourself. You are your best advocate. Take advantage of the opportunities around you, no matter how big or how small. Recognize that each challenge you face brings personal growth and ultimately brings you closer to where you need to be. Have gratitude along the way for the people in your life who have always rooted for you. One last point for me, it has taken me a village, and I'd be lying if I said my accomplishments thus far were truly attained on my own. My village is my reason I am here today, and I am beyond thankful. I hope you've taken away some words of inspiration from my story, and if I can help you on your journeys, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Congratulations to all of you again. No matter where you are in life, take time to celebrate each win. You've made it.
I have the pleasure of introducing Dr. Kimberly Kirkland, Senior Associate Dean of Student Affairs, to present the Student Government Commitment and Leadership Award. As Senior Associate Dean of Student Affairs, Dr. Kirkland provides oversight for student affairs and wellness counseling across AUC's 4-year program and leads AUC Thrive, the university's well-being initiative. Dr. Kirkland is committed to student success throughout their medical school training and is always available for support for wellness and professional development. Dr. Kimberly Kirkland will now announce the Student Government Commitment and Leadership Award recipients.
Thank you all. And thank you, Dr. Makija, for your wonderful words of wisdom. Today, I have the privilege of presenting awards to a group of extraordinary individuals. And before I get started, I'd like to ask all the former SGA presidents of any council, just the presidents, to come up and stand to the right of the stage, please. These individuals have exemplified unparalleled commitment and exceptional leadership throughout their service as past presidents of AUC's Student Government Association. These remarkable graduates have played an instrumental role in shaping our medical school community into what it is today. It's crucial to recognize the significance of a strong SGA and the success of any medical school. The SGA embodies our institution's RISE values, values of resilience, inclusion, service, and excellence, while fostering the development of leadership skills among its participants. The SGA serves as a platform for students to voice their concerns and to contribute to the internal policies of our university. It acts as a bridge connecting students with administration and our Board of Trustees, ensuring that their opinions are heard and valued. Moreover, the SGA plays a pivotal role in enhancing the engagement of AUC students across our campuses and in clinical training sites. Through a multitude of social, cultural, educational, and recreational activities, the SGA fosters a sense of camaraderie and belonging that strengthens our medical school community. The Assistant Student Affairs Dean and I have the privilege of working closely with each of the SGA's 4 councils: the St. Martin Council, the UK Council, the Clinical Council, and the 4-year Executive SGA. Together, these councils are comprised of over 90 students who coordinate more than 40 clubs, student clubs, medical specialty entrance groups, student affiliation organizations, and various other student-driven initiatives. Let us not forget that while many students are involved in the SGA, only a select few possess the unwavering commitment and exceptional leadership skills required to serve as a council president. It is an immense responsibility, one that demands the maintenance of academic excellence while tirelessly navigating student concerns to ensure their satisfaction. Frankly, I don't know how the council presidents do it. As I reflect on my role as a mentor for these remarkable students, I am humbled by the privilege of witnessing their growth and development. Throughout the years, I have seen SGA presidents transition into positions of great influence and leadership, becoming chief residents, department chairs, CEOs, and above all, incredible physicians. They represent the very best of AUC's student leaders. Please join me in celebrating the 2023 recipients of the AUC Student Government Commitment and Leadership Award. For her service as president of the Executive SGA, Dr. Melanie Gonzalez Saavedra. For his service as president of the Executive SGA, Dr. Christian Green. For her service as president of the Clinical SGA, Dr. Simone Martin. and for his service as president of the St. Martin SGA, Dr. Emery Newkirk. Congratulations to all of the recipients. As you embark on the next chapter of your lives, carrying the torch of leadership, I have no doubt that you will continue to achieve greatness and make a profound difference in the lives of those you serve. May your journey be filled with limitless opportunities and success.
I'm pleased to introduce Dr. Nirbanu Purani, the Senior Associate Dean of Academic Affairs. Dr. Purani maintains oversight of academic affairs for the St. Martin campus and UK track in addition to all clinical sites. She leads the accreditation and approval process and develops new strategic programs for AUC. Dr. Purani is also responsible for leading the faculty, staff, and administrative teams on academic success. Please welcome Dr. Purani.
Thank you, Dr. Humphrey. Today, we gather here to celebrate the remarkable achievements of our medical students and to recognize the extraordinary dedication and commitment that have led them to this momentous day. Graduating from medical school is no small feat, and it is a testament to the unwavering perseverance and hard work of each and every graduate before us. Throughout their time at AUC, our students have faced and conquered numerous challenges, both academically and personally. Their journey has required countless hours of studying, late nights spent in the library, and a burning desire to acquire the foundational knowledge of medicine that will pave the way for their future work in medicine. As we stand here today, we acknowledge that these aspiring physicians possess a unique ability to provide informed and compassionate care to their patients. The complex and ever-evolving nature of medicine necessitates a profound understanding of the field, and our graduates have demonstrated their aptitude in mastering the knowledge required. AUC's Outstanding Academic Achievement Award is bestowed upon individuals who demonstrate an exceptional level of academic excellence, who go above and beyond, who well surpass the academic requirements set forth by the institution. It is with great pleasure and immense pride that I announce the recipient of this year's Outstanding Academic Achievement Award, Dr. Harneil Gill. Dr. Gill, if you could please come up to the stage to accept your award. Dr. Gill's unwavering commitment to the study of medicine throughout his time at AUC has been nothing short of exemplary. His dedication, passion, and remarkable academic accomplishments have set him apart as an outstanding individual worthy of this distinguished recognition. Dr. Gill's journey does not end here. It is only the beginning of what promises to be a bright and fulfilling career in medicine. This summer, he will embark on his residency at Cook County Health and Hospital System in anesthesiology, where his unwavering commitment to excellence will undoubtedly continue to shine. Let us extend our heartfelt congratulations to Dr. Gill for his well-deserved achievement. May his success inspire us all to serve, and as a reminder for the incredible possibilities that lie ahead for each and every one of our graduates.
Congratulations, Dr. Gill. I now have the pleasure of announcing the recipients for the Excellence in Community and University Service Award. AUC presents the Excellence in Community and University Service Award to recognize and celebrate exemplary records of community engagement and stories of personal and professional development that emanate from community experiences. As many of you know, community engagement is a thread that is firmly woven into the tapestry of learning at AUC. Our practice is to work with the community on projects that align with local priorities and provide experiences that enrich student learning. As students have gone out into the community, they observe and participate in experiences that are beyond the textbook, and they discover nuances and questions that they never thought about. The knowledge becomes more real, and they're better prepared for a new level of discovery. This year's essays and nominations represented the commitment of AUC students to the success of their classmates and contributing to the community. We want to acknowledge the work and time that it took to reflect for all of the applicants. Please come to the stage as your name is announced. The first recipient is Dr. Christian Green. Dr. Green is a first-generation college and medical school graduate. He will begin his anatomical and clinical pathology residency at MedStar at Georgetown University Hospital in Washington, D.C. He was active with several organizations on campus at AUC and supported the community engagement programs. He served as an orientation advisor, executive student government associate president, as you know, student judiciary committee executive board, curriculum committee chairperson, class representative, and vice president of the pathology interest group. That's not all. He also volunteered with the breast abnormality study, Project Help, player development, and as a coordinator for the HIV/AIDS Coordinating Committee, he contributed by raising over $5,000 for the AIDS Foundation. He is a true testament to commitment of serving a local community. Congratulations, Dr. Green. Our next recipient is Dr. Melanie Gonzalez Savendra. Dr. Gonzalez will begin her psychiatry residency training at Eastern Virginia Medical School in Norfolk, Virginia. She is a trailblazer who spearheaded the expansion of our community engagement program into clinical sites. She served as the first CSGA clinical chair of volunteering and worked with hospital site representatives in clinical science to begin community cleanups, fundraisers, and food drives. She was also able to organize a fundraiser for Jericho Partnership Incorporated, a local organization in Danbury, Connecticut that provides support to at-risk youth. The students who have been elected in the follow-up years have continued to successfully volunteer for clinical students at major sites. Congratulations, Dr. Gonzalez Savendra. I would now like to welcome Father Jeff Hamblin, AUC board member, to the podium to present the Alumni Excellence Award.
AUC presents the Alumni Excellence Award to a recipient to recognize the dedication and commitment of serving their community. The nominations are brought forward by either members of the student body or from members of the AUC community at large, and then ultimately chosen by the AUC Alumni Board. This year's award recipient was nominated for her extensive involvement with the AUC student body through coaching, mentorship, and lectures. She has spent endless hours sharing her expertise as obstetric and gynecologist and inspired many AUC students to pursue the same specialty. This AUC alumna truly embodies the spirit of AUC, and we are incredibly grateful for her tremendous support and enthusiasm in inspiring the future generation of physicians. And with permission for her mother, este año recipiente fue nominado por su extensa colaboración con los estudiantes de AUC, con gratitud por su tremenda soporte y entusiasmo y inspiración para la futura generación de médicos. Please join me in welcoming this year's AUC Alumni Excellence Award winner, Dr. Ingrid Paredes, to the stage. Congratulations, Dr. Paredes.
The hooding ceremony will now begin. I will be asking the participating stage party to take their positions now. And students, you will be called up by row. Once you are near the stage, you will hand your name card to the card collector prior to walking to the stage. Once your name is called, you will walk across the stage and hand your hood to either Dr. Ginty, Bekele, Chabanyan, Dillard, Ash, or Tanita, who will place your hood over your head. Dr. Regulato will then hand your diploma and will continue walking. You will continue walking until you shake hands with Dr. Delgado at the end and pose for the photograph. You will then exit the stage and return to your seat. Okay, let's begin.
Dr. Danish Kareem Abdul Allah. Dr. Eunice Adebayo. Dr. Ariel Ong.
Dr. Odi Rassam Al-Saleh. Look, tell me when. Dr. Amanda Umada Elabowi. Dr. Ishman Alam. Dr. Sarah Alaprize. Dr. Hermela Alamene. Dr. Elizabeth Lucinda Allison. Dr. Omar Alazine. Dr. Mackenzie Ray Ammons. Dr. Andalise Andino. Dr. Nyonye Anosuke. Dr. Allison Arcuri. Dr. Giorgio August. Dr. Aldridge Awuku. Dr. Orlowa Oyalanan-yon. Dr. Tanya Azir. Dr. Tara Mary Aziz. Dr. Andressa Balbi. Dr. Grant Bales. Dr. Curran Ballard. Dr. Melina Bassant. Dr. Trevor Julian Bassett. Dr. Christian Bateman. Dr. Alejandro Bassetel. Dr. Ariel Jordan Bell. Dr. Janessa Bell. Dr. Suchid Bhakta. Dr. Miranda Bingham. Dr. Daniela Borges. Dr. Madi Buri. Dr. Brianna Braithwaite. Dr. Madison Olivia Elizabeth Blunt. Dr. Caitlin Elizabeth Bro. Dr. Erin Elizabeth Brock. Dr. Gretchen K. Brock-Smith. Dr. Jason Booty. Dr. Ernesto Caban. Dr. Jessica Karp. Dr. Cayman Carter. Dr. Juan Carlos Caravala. Dr. Laura Castillon. Dr. Andrea Savalos. Dr. Mitali Chansekar. Dr. Jinal Chaudhry. Dr. June Jasmine Shebata. Dr. Misa Kaur Chowdhury. Dr. Sumaya Chowdhury. Dr. Sabrina Chirico. Dr. Marina Merlini Coelho. Dr. Jason Como. Dr. Ariana Crediford. Dr. Nicole Sabino Kunanen. Dr. Demi Mary Jane Curbello. Dr. Sarah Kodraanu. Dr. Jacob Logan Cunningham. Dr. Galila Dawit. Dr. Andrea Krisha Dalumpa. Dr. Samantha De Silva. Now. Dr. Ashley Rosemary Diaz. Dr. Stefina Dide. Dr. Vanessa Epps. Dr. Barish Aaron. Dr. Jesus Jime Fondinho. Dr. Sarah Nicole Farzan. Dr. Michael Thomas Fuchs. Dr. Shannon Elaine Fleming. Dr. Jordan Frazier. Dr. Sandy Gadd. Dr. Andrea Garcia. Dr. Jia Ziing Ge. Dr. Connor Gobriel. Dr. Harneal Gill. Dr. Kimberly Rachel Go. Dr. Joan Goldstone. Dr. Paige Golian. Dr. Maria Gomez Alvarez. Dr. Jordan Ganya. Dr. Pamela Gonzalez. Dr. Monique A. Gonzalez Johnson. Dr. Melanie Gonzalez Zavedra. Dr. Christian Green. Dr. Torin Green. Dr. Brandon Grodman. Dr. Amy Hackett. Dr. Julia Caroline Hennessy. Dr. Glenn Hennenkamp. Dr. Emmanuel Ricardo Holland. Dr. Michelle Nicole Hutchinson. Dr. Hamza Samir Jaber. Dr. Garrett Jackson. Dr. David Jetha. Dr. Nomi Jobier. Dr. Colin Kaler. Dr. Sanjana Kamuth. Dr. Tajinder Kaur. Dr. Brandolyn Kelly. Dr. Shahed Khalifa. Dr. Brandon Xavier Kimbrough, Dr. Sarah Klinger, Dr. Michaela Kopakar, Dr. Aloga Kostakos, Dr. Hunter Koster, Dr. Bairoth Kotha, Dr. Ivy Baba Kalfi, Dr. Megan Nicole Kudlak, Dr. Andrew Kung, Dr. Tam Lee, Dr. Hannah Rebecca Leach, Dr. Nathan Lease, Dr. Emma Lee Lindeman, Dr. Leanne Alicia Love, Dr. Samuel Patrick Malick, Dr. Carolina Leiji Marcus, Dr. Melissa Marseille, Dr. Simone Martin, Dr. Armin Mardikan, Dr. Juan Carlos Martinez, Dr. Shayla McCall McHenry, Dr. Shane McKenna, Dr. Ashi Leroux Sean Merchant Ashikali, Dr. Jasmine Carme Millen, right. I would now like to thank Drs. Ginty, Bekele, and Chabanyan, and welcome Drs. Dillard, Ash, and Tanita, who will start placing hoods over students' heads. Dr. Melina Mautati, Dr. Gabriela Morales, Dr. Jeffrey Matato, Dr. Bradley Mueller, Dr. Jacob Nathanson, Dr. Artabaz Nazari, Dr. Emery Newkirk, Dr. Lan Nguyen, Dr. Jade Nope Nguyen, Dr. Patricia Esther Samba Buzango Baya, Dr. Rachel Okiogrosso, Dr. Heidi Lynn Odell, Dr. Miriam Odarukwe, Dr. Anjali Patel, Dr. Krishna Krishore Patel, Dr. William Olstorn, Dr. Emmanuel Oafunmalola Onabolu, Dr. Bresh Orshi Odachan Kuya, Dr. Padamistrij Erashe Pareshbra, Dr. Sarah Christine Ponzer Che, Dr. Hannah Leah Toledo, Dr. Troy Quayle, Dr. Sharar Qureshi, Dr. Garrett Reber, Dr. Priya Mohan, Dr. Nikita Reddy, Dr. Ryan A. Reeb, Dr. Amanda Rivera, Dr. Angela Robertson, Dr. Diana Roches, Dr. Ebenezer Olamayawa Rosiji, Dr. Joseph Russo, Dr. Lorenzo Joseph Russo, Dr. Jonathan Christian Saavedra, Dr. Joaid Khan Safi, Dr. Esha Sanyal, Dr. Aninner Kaur Sunri. Dr. Mackenzie Victoria Saval. Dr. Shelby Madison Scharf. Dr. Daniel Schneider. Dr. Zach Schneider. Dr. Humda Sajad. Dr. Imon Mahmoud Shaban. Dr. Ishita Sharmin. Dr. Abraham Shayo. Dr. Madison Nicole Schindorf. Dr. Muhammad Ali Siddiqui. Dr. Viplav Singh. Dr. Yvette Christine Singh. Dr. Boone Singh Tong. Dr. Jamie Colleen Spears. Dr. Chandler Lee Stensel. Dr. Shawanda Lynette Suber. Dr. Jeffrey Joseph Summers, Jr. Dr. Kayla Lavelle Sweeten. Dr. Amal Tabet. Dr. Eric Tatos. Dr. Christina Tavera Montañez. Dr. Sucharat Terachagun. Dr. Brittany Simone Martin. Dr. Nahal Tarabi. Dr. Andrew Tryhoft. Dr. Joshua Sai. Dr. Richard Anthony Urbano. Dr. Yama Valdez. Dr. Thalia Vega Caratini. Dr. Dimitri Villanueva. Dr. Matt Vore. Dr. Alec Wallace. Dr. Eric Wallace. Dr. Yulu Wang. Yes. Dr. William Wanzer. Dr. Abigail Lynch. Dr. Jeffrey. No. Dr. Jeffrey Zilkowski. Okay. Dr. Brittany Thompson.
And this concludes our hooding ceremony. Next, I would like to welcome Dr. David Preluk, Senior Associate Dean of the St. Martin campus, to the podium to give the Physician's Oath Declaration of Geneva. Please read along with Dr. Preluk. You will find the oath in your program, graduates.
Can I ask our graduates to please rise? And any physicians in the audience and on the podium to please rise as well. Are we ready? Okay. As a member of the medical profession, read along. I solemnly pledge to dedicate my life to the service of humanity. Of my patient will be my first consideration. I will respect the autonomy and dignity of my patient. I will maintain the utmost respect for human life. I will not permit considerations of age, disease or disability, creed, ethnic origin, gender, nationality, political affiliation, race, sexual orientation, social standing, or any other factor to intervene between my duty and my patient. I will respect the secrets that are confided in me, even after the patient has died. I will practice my profession with conscience and dignity and in accordance with good medical practice. I will foster the honor and noble traditions of the medical profession. I will give to my teachers, colleagues, and students the respect and gratitude that is their due. I will share my medical knowledge for the benefit of the patient and the advancement of healthcare. I will attend to my own health, well-being, and abilities in order to provide care of the highest standard. I will not use my medical knowledge to violate human rights and civil liberties, even under threat. I make these promises solemnly, freely, and upon my honor. Congratulations. I would now like to invite Dr. Herbert, the chair of our board, who will confer the degrees.
Graduates, you have successfully completed the requirements for the degree of Doctor of Medicine. By the power invested in me by the Board of Trustees and attested to by the deans and faculty of American University of the Caribbean School of Medicine, the degree of Doctor of Medicine is now bestowed upon you. You may now move your tassels from right to left.
Just a few more things. Please be seated.
Doctors, each year, the graduating classes act to select one of their fellow students to address the class nominated by their faculty. Your class has spoken, and you have chosen Dr. Christian Green. Dr. Green, please make your way to the stage.
Faculty, families, friends, and doctors, we did it. Congratulations. After 4 very long years of endless studying, sleepless nights, and a worldwide pandemic, we are in our last few minutes as medical students. When we began this journey together, there seemed to be an overwhelming number of risk factors for finishing medical school. To see each of you in the crowd before me is a testament to our resilience, inclusion, service, and excellence. We adapted to an island that was rebuilding, persisted during a pandemic, passed a never-ending number of examinations, and endured thousands of hours of clinical work. We learned to progress despite the feelings of inadequacy, exhaustion, and stress. Day after day, dragging our feet through another round because we spent our nights reading up on treatment guidelines to ensure our patients received the best care possible, patients whose stories we will never forget. Between celebrating beautiful marriages and welcoming newborns, we spent our weekends volunteering in the community and presenting our research at conferences. I can confidently say that we laughed as much as we loved, and we've become more than colleagues, we've become family. In medical school, we're trained to think like doctors, but I hope we never forget how to think and feel like human beings. When I sat down to write this speech, I pulled out my old box of memorabilia and found my own white coat ceremony program. On our first day of medical school, we took an oath to remember that we remain members of society with special obligations to our fellow human beings, those sound of mind and body, as well as the affirm. We promise to remember we're not treating a fever chart or a cancer, but we're treating a sick human being whose illness may affect all aspects of their life. Our communities need us now more than ever. We're entering into a world that is desperate for your representation and expertise. In the U.S. and around the world, physicians are increasingly required to serve as vocal advocates in defending the right to health care and protect our patients, all of our patients. As physicians, we should never fail to speak out and seek change to improve the quality of life for our patients. Medicine is a noble practice, but it is not pure. It can be good, but it is not always fair. We must keep its shortcomings at the forefront of our minds as we continue improving our profession. We should accept nothing less than a continuous desire for healthcare equality, equity, and expansion. It is the highest privilege to be a doctor. Every one of us carries an enormous power, a power that can sometimes feel paralyzing and overwhelming. But remember, we're all well equipped to handle anything that comes our way. We did not make it this far by mistake. I challenge each of my classmates graduating today to make a commitment to yourself and your future patients that in the coming years, you will not lose the passion for healthcare equity that you feel today, and that you will not be beaten down by a system that at times may seem designed to impede medical care than to provide it. Keep your energy and join with others who share your commitment. Today, the mission that we began 8 long years ago is finally accomplished. Being an AUC student has been the experience of a lifetime. I remember that August night that I drove down the dirt roads of rural Mississippi to fly into St. Martin, betting it all to follow my dream of becoming a physician. I would like to thank Mountain Dew, YouTube, Wikipedia, and Fat Tony's for making this possible. Just kidding, just kidding. But in all seriousness, I can't put into words how much of an honor it has been to serve by each of you and to learn from each of you. Now I wish to express my appreciation. To AUC staff and administration, thank you for believing in us, passing your knowledge on to us, and molding us into the doctors we are today. We would not be here without you. To Dr. Kirkland, the long nights of SGA meetings, countless Board of Trustees reports, and budget proposals. You always encouraged me to be the best leader I could, and your support has been paramount not only to me, but countless other doctors. To Doctors Aaron Taylor and Samir Berry, both of whom left this world too soon, we hope to make you both proud and to bring your legacies of kindness and thoughtfulness to each patient that we serve. To Caitlin, Maddie, Leah, Nicholas, Bo, Colin, Elizabeth, John, Simone, Shelby, Sarah, Julia, and Haya, I hope I didn't leave anybody out. You have been my rocks and have pushed me beyond what I ever perceived my capabilities to be, and I love you all. And lastly, to my beautiful mother, I wish you could be here today. I used to blush when you would incessantly tell strangers that I would one day become a doctor. You called it from day one, even before I knew myself. In these final minutes, I want you to take a good look at the person to your left and the person to your right. Take a good look to the members of the crowd. Please continue to be on call for one another. Yes, medical school is over, but the challenge of residency, fellowship, and attendingship await us. Continue lifting each other up with humor, compassion, and humanity. None of us would be here today without the support of our families, friends, and colleagues. Starting July, we finally get to collect a paycheck doing the thing that we love the most. Which means everybody in the crowd, make sure to take care of your health this summer. Thank you so much for this honor, and may each of you be blessed on your journey.
Thank you, Dr. Green. I would now like to welcome one of AUC's alumni board members, a 1990 graduate, Dr. LaDonna Schmidt, to the podium on behalf of the Alumni Association. Dr. Schmidt did her residency in family medicine at the University of Kansas, Wichita. Currently, Dr. Schmidt is a board-certified family medicine doctor at Salina Regional Health Center in Holton, Kansas.
Good evening. Congratulations, not only to you, but to your families who have supported you through this tremendous journey. As you graduate from AUC School of Medicine, I echo what everyone else has said today. You are entering a most rewarding, honorable profession. When I look back at my studies on the island, it was difficult, but I remember the relationships that I developed and the beauty, especially the sunrises and sunsets, because you have to be up before that and way later than that. I loved what AUC looked in me as a potential person with potential, and because of them, I call AUC them, I've had the privilege to care for an incredibly diverse population from the moment of birth to caring for the elderly. People always tell me that I've touched a lot of lives, but the truth is these lives have touched me forever, and it has changed me and has molded me into what I've become. As you turn the page of your next chapter, I want to remind you that you will be a huge impact on what makes these countless lives come before you in your path. It's a difficult, not an easy choice that you have all made, but you're going to be a guiding light for patients and their families in some of their darkest moments. Your expertise will save some lives. Your empathy will provide solace for some that you cannot save and those who are very frightened and vulnerable. Remember, it's not just your medical knowledge. It's the human connection that you have with each person that you meet that's going to make the biggest difference. As you face the challenges ahead, I agree with what Dr. Green just said. Look at the person on your left and on your right. Remember the passion that brought you and let it fuel your determination like you had in the last 4 years. In the face of adversity, and you will have adversity, remember the moments where you have made a difference in other people's lives. Support your fellow physicians And now you all with your phones can send texts to people when you've got questions. You've got a big group of people who you've been with every moment over the last several years. Stay curious, remain open to new ideas, and challenge the status quo. Be involved locally at your hospital level, community-wide, statewide, and nationally. Never forget the privilege that you have in front of you. The trust the patients place in you is very sacred. Honor that. Trust the humility, integrity, and professionalism that you have learned here. Strive to be a compassionate advocate for your patients and treat each person in an individual and with the best care that you possibly can. Next week, when you venture forth, remember you're joining a community of physicians, thousands before you, who share your dedication. After the pomp and circumstance, hop onto the website and sign up to be an AUC alumni. You should have all received pins. Please take a moment to place those on your gown now. As you step into the world of physicians, embrace this profession with courage, humility, and unwavering commitment. The world needs you more now than ever before. You are extraordinary, and you've taken the path less traveled. Remember to treasure the special moments, the moment now, the moments that you recall forever in St. Martin with the sunsets. And congratulations, doctors. May your journey be filled with compassionate, growing, profound moments of joy. Thank you for choosing this profession. I wish you success and happiness always.
Thank you for those wonderful closing remarks, Dr. Schmidt. We will now conclude the 2023 commencement ceremony. Now our stage party and then our doctors will exit the room. After the graduates exit, we invite all friends and families to join their graduates outside. Thank you all for coming, and safe travels back home.